there's going to be a song. I saw it coming. It has been happening for the last two episodes. Surely this is going to also happen in this one. So I'm going to remember to mute this and I have to remember to unmute it. So, yeah. Mikkel is gone, isn't he? Like, I mean, she's just finding it out, so. And yeah, so she is Ines Kanwald, so she is obviously Jonas's grandmother. Oh, so this guy is Ulrich's father. His name was Tronta? Oh, I love this song. And even this is in English. Hey, it's this book. Eine Reise durch die Zeit. It's not durch, it's durch. I think. A journey through time. And obviously she's Regina, I mean, we know that. Wait, does she have cancer? Maybe I'm wrong. It felt like she was, you know, touching her breast for that clump or something like that. Yeah, I mean, we know that she was Charlotte. They showed that diary or something. Either she's the same actress or they have done the casting absolutely well. I mean, wow. And that's obviously Ulrich. Okay, I feel like. Who is that? Okay, just a second. I do remember that I have to unmute this thing. What? What? Dude, sound waves can't travel through time. Unless, of course, the opening is open. And that's why. Wait, what's going on? Dude. Oh, they are in the same fucking place, 33 years apart. This is this sucks. Eleven five. Hey, it's that time machine. That you see the guy who gives speeches in the TV? Oh, this episode was good. Oh, this episode was good. Oh, this episode was good. Okay, wait. Just I have to write this thing down before I forget. TV speech guy has the time machine. The brightness is too high. Okay. Okay, yeah, this was a very good episode. Of course it was. Um, yeah, I don't need this for the moment. Okay. I mean, for an episode titled Past and Present, it had no present, or at least from our perspective, this is present, right? So, no present. And oh my god. So, we had started the episode with, I think it was, yeah, we started with Ines, right? So, we saw a younger Ines. We then saw this person, I don't know who we saw next. I have not written it in any order, but we saw people like Regina, Tronte, Charlotte, Ulrich, Katharina, all younger, Hannah, younger. Apparently, Ulrich's mother is called Jana, because I wrote it down thinking I have no idea who Tronte and Jana is or are. But Tronte was this guy, Ulrich's father, which means Jana was the other woman, or his mother basically. And we saw Helga, the guy who always kept saying, or not always, but for just one episode, he kept saying "Est et wieder passieren," or I think that was the German counterpart. I'm not sure about my German, but yeah, it is happening again or something like that. So we saw Helga, and he was sweeping while his father was burnt. And when I say burnt, I don't mean like BURNT, I mean BERNT. He was like some top guy in the nuclear power plant, which makes me wonder what's going on there. Okay, so I don't have 15 points of discussion, but I do have some, 7 or 8. And yeah, so one of the things I did note down was a person called Benny, because I just felt that I should, but for some reason I did, but that name never did come up, so I'm gonna scratch this off. Mads disappeared, or I don't know when Mads disappeared, but there was this newspaper article which said young kid in Minden disappears, and there was a photo of Mads, and the date was 10th October 1986. So I'm guessing he disappeared on 9th October or 8th October or something like that, which makes this about 4 weeks since his since his disappearance. So that was one thing. We obviously saw grandfather Tiedemann, the police guy. He's had some sort of an agenda against Ulrich. Like, there were like these 33 sheep that had died all at once, and he saw some hoof, I don't know what a hoof is, in Ulrich's house, and he thought that Ulrich had done something to them. And when Mikkel went to this guy, grandfather Tiedemann, he was like, you're messing with me, you can't possibly be Ulrich's son. Of course, he can't possibly be Ulrich's son from his eyes. Of course, I do agree on that. But he then went on to accuse Ulrich of playing pranks and stuff, and then he went to his house even, and then criticized his music choice as like, dude, this is a free world, and I'm sure 1986 Germany was a free world. You can't be like asking or criticizing people's music choices just because you want to. But that music was weird, right? I mean, I don't know if that's a real song. I have to find it out. My only aim is to take many lives. The more, the better I feel. I mean, it's catchy. I have to give you that. It's catchy, but it's weird. And that is such a metal song. I think that's what it's called as. It was good, right? It was good. It was weird, but it was good. But for some reason, this show has English songs in it, being a German show. Like, I don't understand that idea. Like, why did they decide to do that? Because there is another song, right? I mean, there's obviously the opening song which is in English, Goodbye, right? Goodbye. And there was this song which I muted, obviously, which was also brilliant, and it was also in English. I mean, I could recognize a few words here and there. I'm not really good at recognizing words at the first attempt when I listen to a new song, but I'm pretty sure it was in English. So yeah, that's something that's interesting, because why would you have a lot of English songs in a German TV show? I don't know. Yeah, coming back to the Tiedemann family. So grandfather Tiedemann had some sort of agenda against Ulrich, and he was talking of Satanism and stuff. I was like, what? And there was obviously another reference to Bible and stuff, where there was this guy who was telling him over the dead sheep, and he said something like some verse basically from the Bible, I'm guessing. So is this show like going along the lines of religion or magic, maybe something like that? Yeah, that's something that I have to look out for. And obviously, yeah, the 33 sheep one was weird, right? 33 sheep. I mean, I get it, right? I mean, I mean, they basically explained why the sheep died, because they had these ruptured eardrums that obviously the kid had, and we have seen the birds now dropping dead. The moment when that some sound came from the cave, and I'm guessing that's the door to the blue room. So if that door was opened and the birds fell dead because of, I guess, radiation from the time machine that's inside it, and also the sound, right? I mean, it's a loud sound. So if that was the reason the sheep died, why was there 33 sheep there? Why not 31? Why not 37? Like, the number 33 has been coming up quite a bit. I feel like it's one of those things, like, keep mentioning it and maybe it has some sort of a significance. And obviously we have traveled 33 years in the past, right? 2019 to 1986, so that's another 33. And I'm pretty sure there was some other mention of 33 in the first couple of episodes. Yeah, so the birds are dying when the gate is opened. And there is sound coming, and there's obviously the lights flickering when the gate is opened. It all basically points to me that that's the blue room time machine, or at least some time machine, some sort of like scientific anomaly happening where these are creating these things. Charlotte had this weird relationship with the dead birds. It's one thing to notice, right, that there are dead birds in the road. It's another thing to pick them up. It's a completely different level to draw them, and it's absolutely unheard of, in my opinion, to pick up dead birds and keep them in the refrigerator. I mean, what was that? Yeah, I don't know, like, what was that? Like, why would you do that? I mean, I don't go around picking dead animals from the street. I'm sure there are a couple of rats that are dead, there are probably some pigeon or something. You don't pick them up. Even if you find the fact that they are dead interesting, even if you pick them up, even if you draw them, to keep them in the refrigerator, keep their bodies like stored, that was just pure weird for me. Pure weird. Uh, I'll come to Regina, right? Regina, I have a couple of things to talk about her, and I think, yeah, I could talk about this Helga and Burnt thing. So Helga is demented or dementia sort of thing he has, because that's what they said. Like, he's an old man. He's there in that house. I'm guessing for old people, and he keeps repeating stuff, and he seems to be delusional and stuff like that. But we saw Helga 33 years younger. He did not seem the brightest of the people, and he was sweeping the floor, basically cleaning the road where no future was written. And he gave a book to Claudia. The book was that time travel book, A Journey Through Time. Eine Reise durch die Zeit, I think that was. So, yeah, that was weird, because if it was his father who was there, because it seemed like his father, right? There were like photos and stuff. If it was his father who was the head of the power plant, why was the guy sweeping the floor? Is that like, I mean, am I wrong in thinking that the son of a owner of a power plant cannot possibly be sweeping the floors? That sounds a bit, I mean, I'm not a fan of like nepotism or those type of things where people go, you are a X and Y XYZ son, so you should be doing that XYZ job. That type of discussion is nonsense. But yeah, that was weird for me for some reason. Yeah, that was just pure weird one. I mean, I don't have anything else to say about it. Uh, so the so that relationship, I'm guessing it could be that the father has a poor relationship with Helga, maybe disowned him or something like that. I don't know. I'll come to Regina, because there are a couple of interesting things I noted. Not like I didn't make like any startling observations. They were there to be seen, but I do have some theories for that. Uh, Bernd Doppler. I think his surname is Doppler, right? I think his surname is Doppler. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm wrong, because I feel like I heard the surname Doppler with either Helga or it was Peter. His son is Peter, right? I have to look back at my notes. I think they are the Doppler family. I think I heard the Doppler surname somewhere. So Helga basically had these two quotes, which I was like, wow. The first one was something about fear, that fear is the most important aspect or weapon against us or something like that. When he was talking to Claudia, he was talking to Claudia about the perception that people have on nuclear power plants, and that they had seen the images and that those things don't go away so easily. And then he said fear is a very important, I forgot the word that he mentioned, but he basically said something along the lines of fear is a very important thing, a feeling, and that influences people's decision making. And then he came up with another gem: what we know is a drop, what we don't is an ocean. And I basically commented while I heard that, saying that I know a drop of this show, and what I probably don't know is an ocean, because this episode was just a bombardment of questions for me. Because now I'm thinking like, Tronta, I mean, I haven't even got into this, right? Tronta was holding Claudia's hands and he was saying that he misses her and that he needs her and stuff, which obviously means that they were having an affair. Okay, I mean, they just dropped it like that, and there was no like, you know, dramatic music and stuff that happens in TV shows when such important aspects are thrown. So Toronto was having an affair with Claudia. Interesting. And if I'm not mistaken, he was having an affair with Claudia at a similar time when Mads went missing. Ulrich was having an affair with Hannah at the same time Mikkel went missing. So maybe I was wrong in saying last episode's reaction. I said basically that there's no basis for this comparison, but apparently there is, because so many things are repeating. Like father, like son, effectively. So yeah, that's interesting. Mikkel. I mean, I don't know what to say about Mikkel, to be fair, because he's there in the 86 from 2019. He's a smart guy. I'm sure by this time that he has figured it out, that he's in this time where, he basically asked the date, right? That is a very clever thing to do that people don't somehow do. Not, I mean, we don't obviously have situations like this in real life, but, asking a date in a situation like that is such a brilliant thing to do. He was like, oh, what's the date? And he was like 5th November and 1986, which is 1986. So he's obviously, I think, by this time figured it out. But what is he going to do with that knowledge? He's a kid, right? I mean, at the end of the day, and it seemed like he didn't know how he came, which makes me wonder if he was unconscious or something when he traveled. So yeah. My second last topic for the day, or for this episode, is the TV speech guy. So there was this guy who was making a speech, right, last episode, or maybe the first episode, where he was like, is time travel possible? Would we ever find out what, if will we ever find out what will happen if we travel through a black hole? Like, will the scientist curiosity lead to, like, I don't know, there was some dialogue like that. And this guy was making these speeches in the TV, right? In the TV in the blue room, where we saw Eric. So this guy was building the time machine then. So he wasn't asking these questions like a scientist would. He was asking these questions as if he already knew the answers to. The time travel is possible, and that I am doing things. Will I stop myself from, or what extent will I go to discover or to experience time travel? So yeah, that was something that I felt was very interesting. And I had this doubt while I was watching oh shit, I've closed the episode. I had this doubt while I was watching, but I did not really raise it. Was this the same guy who wrote the book, The Journey Through Time? Because when what's her name, when Claudia opened that gift wrap that Helga had given her, and she took the book like this, and then she saw, and she turned it or flipped it, and we saw the front that it was a journey through time. So the photo in the behind, there was a photo, definitely there was a photo. I wonder if it was the same guy, which would make sense because he's writing a book about time travel. He has a time machine, or he's building a time machine, and he's giving speeches about time travel. So guy is basically hinting to the world that he knows about time travel without saying it up front. And so the final topic for me for this reaction is Regina. I almost felt like this episode was centered around that family, the grandfather, the mother, and now the daughter. The first time we saw her in this episode was in the car, where her mother was basically not being helpful, is a generous way of putting it. And she had these curly hair, and she seemed like I don't want to stereotype it, but she seemed like a nerd. And so that is evidence number one, right? So she basically doesn't care about her hairstyle, her looks, and stuff like that. Evidence number one. The evidence number two is she comes home, and she obviously has a message that heat up the food, I'm going to be late, from her mother, which obviously hints at that the mother is not there for the child. But the evidence number two actually is that she basically, I don't know if I can bloody show this. So she was like this, right? And she did that cloth, and there were a lot of marks here, which makes me wonder if if she was being bullied in the school or something. Maybe, or maybe she tried to take her own life and was unsuccessful at it. I did not have a clear look at the bruises, but there were definitely bruises in the hand. So that was interesting, and I think evidence number one and two basically correlate to say that she was a nerd and she's probably being bullied in the school, and she doesn't have a mother to talk to because her mother is this new boss, new female boss at the power plant, so she's not really giving any time to her daughter, maybe. And obviously, the third evidence was in the wonderful song, right? There was a scene where the older or the present version of Regina was holding her breast and was kind of feeling it. I got a feeling that maybe she was looking for lumps or something, like they do in breast cancer. But I don't know, and she was also crying. Maybe she has cancer, maybe it was something else, maybe it was, I don't know, I can't even begin to fathom what else it could be. So yeah, so Regina I think had a very interesting like story arc in this episode. We saw different shades of her, and I wonder if, I don't even know what to wonder, because she is the granddaughter of a policeman and the daughter of a power plant owner. So maybe she got bullied by that fact. You know, kids like, oh, your mother is this powerful person who probably earns a lot of money compared to the other people in the town. So maybe they bullied her for that reason. Maybe they bullied her because, you know, basically if you have a relative who is in the police and the people don't like police, then they probably show it on not the police but the children and stuff. So maybe that was something. I'm not sure what it was, but yeah, I felt that was very interesting. I don't have anything else to talk about this episode. I loved that song and I'm going to take it, that's for sure. Yeah, this was a weird episode, man. We basically saw a lot of characters that we already knew, but we saw their younger versions with a different face. And I am confused with the faces now because I mean I don't even remember, like, was I supposed to know that Ronta Nielsen was Ulrich's father when they mentioned the name? Or was it the first time that they mentioned the name? Because I don't know. And if I'm not mistaken, the website that I was given in the comment section, I haven't had a look at it yet. Maybe I shouldn't, because I don't trust these websites, right? I mean, even if I could trust the website, I don't probably trust myself to be just focused on what I want to know and what I don't want to know. If I go to the website, I'll definitely spoil something for myself, and I'm trying not to do that. So yeah. Anyways, that's all for this reaction. I don't know what else to speak about. This was an absolutely fantastic episode, and I'm looking forward to reacting to it again. So the thing is, I'm going to react to the Queen's Gambit now because I loved it. It was just fantastic. And tomorrow I'm going to react to Stranger Things third episode. I feel like Dark and this thing, the Queen's Gambit, are miles away from Stranger Things. Like, the Queen's Gambit is miles away from these two, but Dark is getting there because it has time travel, and if you do time travel well, it's a sure success. So I do hope that Stranger Things catches up, because it will be really fun to have 3 absolutely world-class episodes to watch. You know, it'll just be brilliant. That's the point. There are a couple of episodes that are already blocked, so it will take some time for them to get unblocked, and then I'll be uploading them. These will get blocked. So by the time you will be able to see my reactions for episode 3 of Dark, Queen's Gambit and Stranger Things, I think it will be somewhere on 10th of November. I just can't help it. That's why I'm kind of reacting to all of these things quickly, because I do like these things. So I want to like take all of them in, because I'm a person who likes to do binge watching, and it has been a really big challenge for me to control myself, because because I have a YouTube channel now. So yeah. Anyways, bye guys. Have a good evening, night, afternoon, whenever, wherever you're watching. And please like, share, and subscribe to the channel, this video, and all the future contents, because your support is extremely important for me. And that's all. Bye.